Hello, hello. This is Carla Michelle of drcarlainc.com. I welcome you to the Strong Woman's Network, where high-level, empowered women are cultivated, strengthened, and propelled to new levels in their mindset and in their life. Your time here is well invested, so hit that subscribe button and let's take this journey together on being strong, strategic, talented, resilient, optimistic, necessary, and global. That's strong. Hey everyone, this is Carla Michelle. How are you today? We just finished the first Bare and Beautiful, the Red Tent experience. Yes. It was an amazing time and it was so necessary. Yes, so necessary. I enjoyed myself. I've been hearing some really great feedback, and those going home and utilizing tools and resources and just showing up and being bare and authentically themselves and unapologetically being who they know they are without apologizing. You know, how many times do we just apologize? And that was one of the things we discussed. Stop apologizing. Stop saying sorry. But just being aware of just being you and owning you. And there's sometimes we just need to be quiet and listen. And there's times that we need to compromise. There's times that we need to know that we cannot change anyone but ourselves, right? We cannot change anyone. We may try to change our spouse, our partners, our kids, our bosses, our employees, our colleagues, but the only person that we really have control over is us, right? All right. So true. I just wanted to go over a bit about Bare and Beautiful and just share my take on it. First and foremost, it's something that I have been holding in my spirit to do for many years. And it is such a rewarding feeling to see it come to pass, to see it at the other side of it, to be everything that I envisioned it to be. To give women tools to empower themselves, right? And to walk in their authority and to be who they are. We took off our makeup, we wore robes, we didn't dress, we just sat, we ate good catered food all weekend. I didn't cook all weekend, and the women were served and plates were made, and pool time, jacuzzi time, rest time, nap time, journal time. It was a good time and it was a needed time. And we set our intentions when we first checked in, which is so necessary when you are looking to make some changes in your life and you want to be focused. So how can you expect change if you don't expect change? So intentions were set. Some of my intentions were to experience the rawness of each moment that was going to take place over the next 48 hours. To experience the rawness, like I wanted it to be raw and real to me, not something that I planned or prepared for, or I wanted it to be raw and in the moment, and not to overthink it and not to criticize it or judge it, but just to be in it. And the other thing I had was to cry unapologetically, just, if my tears wanted to flow, I let them flow. I also wanted to open up to the love and relationships that are waiting for me. And that would be a romantic relationship. And to move forward in full acceptance of who I am and what I have to offer. To move forward. Now, there are times that we move forward, but are we in full acceptance of who we are when we're moving forward? Are we still hiding behind the armor that we've put on to survive in this world? And that was one of the things with Bare and Beautiful. It's removing armor, unmasking ourselves to each other. This was an intimate setting with two handful of women, and we talked and we shared and we cried and we hugged and we ate and we laughed and we danced and we did yoga and we just inhaled and exhaled and inhaled and exhaled, and it was good. It was really, really good. I know that there is so much more in our lives that we are not tapping into because we show up in such a way that is covered. We're always, many of us walk around with ready to fight. We're ready to protect ourselves. I'm not saying that we shouldn't, but there's so many times we're walking around with a protective coat, and it's really not necessary. It's really not needed at that time. So we just keep it on because we never know when it's needed. And this 48 hours was given to be bare in an environment that we made safe, that we made a commitment to make safe, that we made a commitment not to judge. Because the only way that I felt that we could not judge was to remove the judgment that we place on ourselves. Because many times we judge because we're judging ourselves. We feel that we ourselves are not hitting the mark. So we're very critical of others who are not hitting the mark because we are just mirroring that. We're reflecting that, and we want to point it out in others so we don't feel alone. Something to think about. But my goal was just to be open. And in being open, you do question, will I be judged? Will I be judged? Even though we've set perimeters, even though we've set rules that we wanted to regulate ourselves by, but will I be judged if I share my heart? To me, it was like open smells like a field of flowers that everyone can enjoy. That's what open feels like to me. If I could envision it, it smells like a field of flowers that everyone can enjoy, that anybody walking by can just smell the aroma of these flowers. And that's what open is. It's like, I have to release it. I have to let everyone enjoy me, and I cannot pull it back, because a smell, you really can't pull it back. It's there. And you just got to wait until it just kind of fades or blends or whatever smells do. But that is open to me. And that's how I showed up for Bare and Beautiful. Just open. And just to see the women show up that way as well. It was just lovely. It was right on time. It was needed. It was welcomed. What is Bare and Beautiful to you? What is Bare and Beautiful to you? It's important that we ask ourselves those questions every now and then. You weren't there, right? There will be other opportunities for you to join. I hope that you would make the time to come. But I'll ask you this. What is bare and beautiful to you? What is bare? What does bare look like? B-A-R-E. What does bare look like to you? And are you willing to be bare? Are you willing to show up and be bare in your relationships with your loved one, with your husband, with your partner? Are you ready? Are you willing to be bare? Are you willing just to show yourself for who you are and to be present in this moment and not let yesterday carry over into today and just be you in this day? Those are some of the questions that we should ask ourselves. What does it look like? Do you understand how worthy you are? Do you understand how important it is to have faith in yourself? Are you okay with accepting yourself as you are, but growing? You see, accepting yourself doesn't mean you necessarily just stay and you don't ever change. No. Accepting yourself means you know where you are right now, you know where you want to go, and you know what you're going to do. And acceptance is, these could be, you accept the stuff you need to work on. Some of us need to take that route and accept the stuff that we need to work on. Not just, I have an ugly attitude, so you need to be okay with that. No, we need to understand that understanding how we show up can hinder what you need to do and how you need to be in this life. You never know who's watching you. You never know who is halted by the way you act. You never know who is holding back something good because of the way you show up, because of the armor that you carry, because of the cover-up that you walk in, because of your unwillingness to be bare. I wonder how much you would receive from me if you didn't feel that I was open or honest or vulnerable. And if you don't see me as that, you will stand back and you will kind of watch until you get a sense of who I am. So that is the same, and that is the way others view you. Can they show up and can they be themselves with you? Do they feel that they will get that back from you? A good question to ask ourselves. A good question. And then you want to know that with this time, I'm not going to give it away, what we do. I kind of gave you a general. But because I want you there the next time. I want you there. And I want you there because I want you to know that the work, it's not work. I don't want to say work. I want to say accepting who you are is not work. Accepting who you are is relief. It's relief. It's knowing that being me, being you, is okay. And we're on our way to being more of us, more of the authentic us. The more of us, of who we are before all the stuff, before the childhood trauma, before the molestations, before the divorces of our parents, before the death of our parents, before something traumatic or tragic has happened to a sibling, before whatever, fill in the blank happened. To be where you are able to use what has happened in your life as part of your story, as part of your life that can be for someone else help and assistance. I like to say my tears can be used for someone else's refreshing pool. My tears, the tears that I have shed over my life, I don't just want to bottle them up and keep them safely on a shelf. I want to bottle them, but pour them in a bowl for someone else to use, whether it is to refresh their hearts or minds, or to understand that they're not alone, or to feel and know that, yes, you may be going through this. I can relate, but this is not forever. This is not forever. Not forever at all. I understand that the weight of being molested can stay on you if you don't deal with it. And even if you've dealt with it, even if you've talked about it, even if you've gotten counseling, we have to still be aware of the role it can play in the decisions that we make in our future. If you've been emotionally abused, physically abused, you may talk about it. You may have gotten help about it. But it's very key that you make sure that subconsciously that victim mentality is not alive and growing in your actions. And that where you can be someone who's been abused and become the abuser. We hear that. We see that. We've experienced that. But being bare is understanding that I need to be clean and cleansed subconsciously in my actions, in my words, in my deeds of these things that can hold me back from being me, from being the impact that I want to be in the world. Even if it's, we think global. Global is big, but global can also mean the world that you're in, the circle that you affect. So if we're not bare, what are we missing? Ask yourself. If you're not bare, if you're not authentically you, if you're not organically experiencing each day, each moment, each second, each opportunity, and letting it be an experience that is new, that is teaching, that is alive, that is well. And we enter the day with already presupposed thoughts and expectations that don't really give us the opportunity to live. Are we living? Are we living? Are you living? Yes. It's so important that we take the time to get back to our bare essentials. What are your bare essentials? What is the way you know that you could act? What is the way you know that you could be? I laugh a lot. I smile a lot. There's a twofold thing with laughing and smiling that I found out and discovered for myself. I have to tell you this story that opened my mind. My mom, who was diagnosed with breast cancer in her lymph nodes. It had passed. It started, but then it moved there, and she had a double removal of her breast. And I remember she had a 7-year battle, 7 years of life after that diagnosis. And when she went in, she was already at stage 4. So she had really aggressive chemotherapy and lost her hair, was sick and was very, lost her energy. And I remember so many times before she passed, just to see her strength, just to see her push when it was hard for her to breathe, when her oxygen levels were low, and just to climb a small incline, just small incline. You could see the struggle, but I saw her fight. I saw her move. I saw her just continually flow to move forward in that. But the thing that stands out in this situation with being Bear is that I was sitting on the couch and the doctor had come over because now she was on hospice. There was nothing else left for medical industry to do for her. And the doctor was sitting there going through a questionnaire. And he asked her, "What do you want us to do if you stop breathing or things of such? And do you want us to resuscitate you?" And she said, "No." Now I looked at her because I'm like quietly sitting to the side as this is happening. And I looked at her. And I got a little mad because she said no, because that's my selfish act. She's the one dealing with facing the pain and the hardships of having this run rapid in her body. But I was like in my head, no. But I looked at her and she said no, and she had a smile on her face. How do you smile when you tell someone not to resuscitate you? How do you smile when you tell someone not to resuscitate you and your daughter is sitting there watching? How do you smile? So that to me represents so much, to be able to smile and say, "Don't resuscitate me if I stop breathing, or I have a heart attack, or my body stops. Don't fight for me like that." And that smile, I don't know if it was a smile of joy. I can't say that. I don't know if it was a smile of reassurance for me, because I don't remember her really looking at me. I don't know if it was for the doctor or it was confidence. I don't know what it stood for in her eyes, in her thoughts. But something triggered in me to say, how many times am I smiling when I'm facing such a hard time and I'm not being authentic? That's years down the line it helped me work through, because there's so much in my life that has gone on, and I kept smiling. I kept smiling. I just kept smiling when I was molested. I kept smiling when I was dragged down the street by a boyfriend. I kept smiling when I went through my divorce. I kept smiling. Was the smile for me, or was the smile to try to convince people that I'm okay? But I really wasn't. I really wasn't okay. I really wasn't. So it's nothing like smiling and it being real. My smile now is a little different. Now I still smile. I want to say that. I think I'm more authentic now. I think I'm more willing to say it's not okay. I'm not okay. I'm a joyful person, but my smile is not used as a cover-up. My smile is not used to convince you that I'm okay. My smile is really, truly means I'm okay. I smile so much that if I don't smile, people are not used to it. It's very interesting. because I smile naturally. But I wanted my smiles to be authentic. I know, fake it till you make it, whatever. But that's my choice, is to make my smiles authentic and to be real. So in that, and seeing my mom and seeing her smile with a DNS on her mind, do not resuscitate, or DNR, sorry, do not resuscitate. How many times am I smiling, but I need you to really resuscitate me? I really need you to step up and get into my business. And I really need you to check me and to call me out that I'm not being real, that I'm not showing up, that I'm not being authentic. How many times do we need to check each other on that? How many times that we need to give people permission to say, if you see me showing up saucy and out of sorts and it's not real and you feel that, I give you permission to check me. I give you permission to call me out. I give you permission to give me a signal to stop and to check in and be authentically me. Bare and Beautiful is not just a getaway for women. Bare and Beautiful is not just something that we want to do and have the experience and not forget it. Bare and Beautiful is embracing all aspects of our lives and still knowing that we're beautiful. Bare and Beautiful is knowing that we're not perfect, and nor are we trying to be, but in our imperfections, we're still beautiful. Bare and Beautiful is knowing that even if today I didn't show up authentic or my best self, it doesn't take away how beautiful I am and the purpose in which I was created to function in this world. So I want to ask you, how are you showing up? How are you showing us who you are? How are you showing up in the workplace? How are you showing up as a leader? How are you showing up as a high-performing woman? How are you showing up as a CEO? How are you showing up as an employee? How are you showing up as a visionary? Are you really being authentically you? Are you willing to just be you and be okay with that? And be like that open field of flowers, willing to be smelled and enjoyed by anyone who comes close enough to smell you? Are you? Well, I hope you are. I hope you are. So, in closing, Bare and Beautiful was a great experience. We will be having more. And the next, series of the Red 10 experiences is Bold and Beautiful. Yes, Bold and Beautiful, April 2020. It's the first week of April we're looking at. Friday, Saturday, April, I think it's 3rd and 4th, close to it. I will get those dates right. But April, the first weekend in April 2020, mark your calendars. It's Bold and Beautiful. So we've done Bare and Beautiful. Now we have Bold and Beautiful. And I hope that you will take the time to join us. All right. Once again, Bare and Beautiful. Let's check ourselves. How are we living? And if you don't like the way you're living because you want to be more authentically you, let's do that. Hey, I would love to hear from you. Feel free to reach out to me at drcarlainc.com, drcarlainc.com. Subscribe to this podcast. Subscribe and share with your friends. Share with those who need to hear this. It's been great to have this time with you today, and I will see you next time. Take care.